We trade with Xness because we can trade as fast as we can click. We can make bold decisions when everything is on the line. Trade with faster execution. Xness, born to trade.
I'm Derek Ade Ofosu.
We trade with
I'm the
Xness
business decision
because we can
support
trade
and
as
revenue
fast
growth
as we can
manager.
click.
The experience has been an exciting one. We have
Make
had
bold decisions
about
when everything
5
is on the
to
line.
6 courses
Trade with
in the
faster
first semester,
execution.
from
Xness,
Python
born to trade.
programming to machine learning and database management.
We
And
trade
the
with
good thing
Xness
about this
because we
program
can
is that the
trade as
lecturers
fast as we
bring
can
on board,
click.
industry experience, and they're able to give us projects that are hands-on, that are very practical, that we can actually apply to organizations that
internship opportunities, and they, over the years, bridge the gap between academia and the real world. And it's been consistent. I mean, we're also looking at an institution with a track record, a lot of alumni out there who are doing so well. So with that alone, we can always rate them, if not the best among the opportunities. And they, over the years, bridge the gap between academia and the real world.
My name is Aaron Elifiati. I'm the MD for AF Automotive. So we're a brand new vehicle dealership that deals in mainly brand new Toyota and Lexus vehicles, in addition to electric vehicles. And I studied an MA in marketing strategy at the University of Ghana Business School. I'm in a field where marketing is one of the main things I need. And it's not just helped me, but I live with that degree, what I learned in that degree, because in this space of competition, you always need to strategize. You need to know, what do I do now? What is best? How much do I use? I mean, all those things, the degree has really helped me in doing that. So you realize that for us in the automotive space, there's a lot of competition. So you need to strategize as to what vehicles you are bringing, how you are going to push them on the market, how essential they are to the people you are selling to them, knowing about your target market and audience. The degree has helped us to do that, and it's pushing the business forward. It's even teaching us how to do online sales, because now that's the next big thing. It's not just having the physical evidence, which is a showroom, but being online also pushes your business to the next level, where people outside your scope, even people outside Ghana, can also purchase a vehicle from you without even having to be in the physical space. So that's give me a thumb up. It's been solid for myself and the business as a whole.
My colleague who is in Accra in the office, Mr. Kwame MP, will take over and do the orientation for us. Kwame, it looks like you have made a lot more people presenters. So please check for us. Thank you very much for making time for us to continue our orientation session. We questions on the timetable, issues on registration, and so today we are going to spend a lot more time with our IT team to speak to us and show us how to navigate our way around the IT challenges that we've been facing. Before we start, I would give our students been done so far between yesterday and today concerning the challenges that some were facing in terms of how to interpret and how to understand our timetable. If you can kindly help us so that from then we can take over and start the main session. So I don't know if you can hear me, kindly please take over and take us through. Thank you.
Mr. Prof Osai has a meeting that he needs to quickly finish with him and the presentation. By then I will have a lot more people online as well, if you don't mind.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll take the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, Professor Robert. Or is it or say Dakon say Professor Robert Dakon say or said that?
Dakon say.
Thank you very much. So let me introduce you properly. So we have with us the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, Professor Robert Dakon say with us. He will speak to us about graduate studies and the policies of the university in total. So a bit of background before Prof comes. You are students first of the University of Ghana who are programs in the University of Ghana Business School. And so we are not an island as a school. We are under the direction and authority of the graduate school. And Dean Prof is the Dean of the University of Ghana Graduate Studies. So he is in charge of all our graduate programs, PhD, MPhil, all programs. He is in charge. So please pay attention to him because what he's going to speak to us about is some of the requirements that the university requires of you as a student. So if you don't pay attention and you do things thinking that you are just within the business school, if the university's policies and regulations catches you, it goes beyond us. And then his school would have to handle those for you. So please pay attention and let's hear from Prof. Prof, please, you can take over. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to first congratulate you all for being admitted to the University of Ghana Business School. Certainly, you are among the very few. Trust me, the numbers that applied were quite enormous. And so congratulations to you all. I would like to share my slides. So I ran through some of the things that potential, they are not hurdles per se, but it's pitfalls that essentially in respect of the University of Ghana. I want to believe that some of you were previously students here, some even graduate students here, and so you have a sense of what some of these issues are. But given the challenges that we face year in, year out, particularly in respect of our students, I think it's only proper that we run through these orientation and then remind all of us of the things that tend to trouble us as graduate students here. Now, it says it's loading your presentation. Okay, so can you see it now? Hopefully, can you see my slides? Somebody has their hand up. Okay. Yeah.
Prof, please, it's okay. Please go on. I'm going to drop all the.
Okay, but you can see the slides, right? Yes, can you see the slides? Okay, yes, excellent. Thank you very much.
Kwame, can you see the slides? Okay.
Yes, I can. Kwame can see them. Okay, excellent. So for those of you who don't know, this is the School of Graduate Studies. It's hidden not too far from where the main University of Ghana Business School is. And we are very environmentally conscious. And so you can see how green the whole place is. Okay, that's our excuse. So by way of online introduction, I'll quickly talk about the main areas of responsibility in respect of the School of Graduate Studies, and also point you to the handbooks that we typically will use. I believe that the registration matters. The school administrator will probably take you through them. I'll talk a bit about the structure of the graduate programs generally in the University of Ghana for the master's as well as the PhD. And then also share with you some of the things that you need to be careful about, particularly for interruption of study, but also for extension of sharing with you issues related to plagiarism and what you need to know. Now, let me begin by also pointing out that all of the things that I'm going to talk about are things that you would find in the graduate handbook. Okay, so there is a current version of the handbook that it's supposed to be up on our website, except that in the last weeks when we've been trying to clean it up and then have it properly edited and then put up. Unfortunately, we've had some interruption in the academic calendar. So School of Graduate Studies, we essentially oversee graduate programs at the university. And so your admissions, even before admissions, the programs that you are studying, the approval of these programs, where there are supervisors and examiners for your thesis work and long essay work. Again, this is overseen generally by the School of Graduate Studies. The processing of these theses and examinations, the determination of the results leading to graduation, essentially ensuring that everyone who is ready to be graduated essentially will be presented for graduation. And then the publication of results prior to the graduation. Now, there are handbooks that guide all that we do and the regulations governing the study of the graduate studies at the university. There are handbooks also for the programs. Admittedly, the handbooks for the programs, the current one is a bit dated, but we are working to put up the more recent version of it. But both the regulations and the handbooks are available on our website. So if you go to our website, the homepage, you'd find the button labeled resources. And if you go in the resources, you would find the handbooks for both doctoral studies and also the master's studies. As I said, what is currently on the website is the last version that we have been using, but this has been updated. And so the updated version will come up shortly when school resumes. But in truth, the spirit and the content haven't changed significantly. And so even if you went into the version that is on the website currently, you won't find that most of the things that I refer to in this talk essentially are there for your use. And these things are supposed to guide you. Obviously, in 20 minutes, I can say all the things that is in the graduate handbook. Even currently for me, and having been at the School of Graduate Studies for quite some time now, for certain matters that come to my office, I essentially go back to the graduate handbook. And the whole point I'm trying to make here is that this part and parcel of the things that you have on you as a graduate student here at the University of Ghana, so that for certain things you don't even need seats you have or do not have as a graduate student of this university. The point about registration that I would like to mention, the process itself, again, I want to believe that school administrator would speak to it. But the point that I would like to add is that students, it's a magister each semester as a graduate student, except for those who are doing PhD after year one. And during their research phase, then you can register yearly. But for other students, all other students, you must register each semester. It goes without saying, registration by proxy is not allowed. And indeed, you cannot register for more than one program at this same time. Every invitation program to our graduate students, but people fall short of this. The other, we do find out. And remember that even if we do not find out here, and you are issued a certificate, we can recall the certificates. And again, this is something that is clearly spelled out to you as a student. Sorry. So please, what the regulations say in respect of registering for more than one program, it says you cannot do it. But if you have to do it, you have to get express permission from the Vice Chancellor before you can. So if for some reason you think that there is going to be overlap in the program that you currently are starting and what you probably would have been finishing, for instance, it's better to write to the Vice Chancellor through the School of Graduate Studies, and then we have granted permission for people to do that. What is irritating is when you try to do that in a retrospective way, then it's sort of essentially abusing the rules. And of course, the typical excuse is that I didn't know, but again, that is no excuse in law, right? So please, let's not fall foul of this. The program structure, and we have been struggling to get back to our university schedule since the COVID. And somehow every year something new comes up, and so the calendar gets thrown out of gear a little bit. Fortunately for the business school, I think we may be able to start the program in time and hopefully recover. So you find that typically your academic calendar, the academic session, if we talk about an academic year, it comprises 2 semesters. Now, essentially, the first semester in total is about 17 weeks. Second semester in total about 17 weeks. With the COVID, we had to compress the number of weeks for the semester, but we made up for it with the contact hours, so that in the end, the notional hours for contact was unchanged. Okay, so your typical first semester begins in August to December, and the second semester from January to May. That is for normal programs. For PhD, we do allow a January intake as well, so that the first semester then will begin in January and then end in May, and second semester then follows. Note again that this is when we are able to get back to the normal stream, as it were. Okay. Right, so 17 weeks constitute a semester, and out of that 17 weeks, 13 weeks is for lectures, and you have 1 week revision, and then there's 3 weeks of examinations. Now, for the different programs, if you are doing an MA, MSc, which is a 1-year program, if it's a full-time, it's 2 semesters. For part-time, it's 4 semesters. Similarly, for MBA, and I want to believe that many of you or most of you are MBA students, full-time is 4 semesters, part-time is 6 semesters. And for the PhD, 4 years for a full-time, part-time is 6 years. MPhil is also 4 semesters generally. Typically for MPhil, we hardly have MPhils that are doing it on a part-time basis, but where they are doing it on a part-time basis, then the period for the coursework is extended so that you have you take the coursework over a 2-year period. That's 4 semesters, and then you do the research component as a 1 year, so you have 6 semesters. Now, for the requirements for graduation, and please, there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to these requirements for graduation, and it is important that you do not forget. If it's a 1-year program, for all programs at UG, if you like, you have 3 main parts. One is a coursework part, where you essentially go into a classroom, take a course, write exams for that course, and you have to pass it. That is one component. So you have to meet that requirement with respect to the coursework. Then you have a seminar. Every graduate student has to do a seminar, at least one seminar. That's if you are doing a 1-year program, which also gives you credit and is a requirement. Then the third component has to do with writing a research paper of sorts. Of course, depending on the level of the program that you are taking, it could either be special topics or long essay, dissertation, or a thesis if you are doing an MPhil or indeed a PhD. Now, so the first thing that you need to remember is that all these 3 components need to be passed. All the 3 components need to be passed. So then the question then is that if you take the coursework, what are the requirements for the coursework in respect of a 1-year program? Very straightforward. For each semester, depending on whether you are doing a dissertation, long essay, or the special topics, you need a minimum of 12 credits for the dissertation and a minimum of 15 credits if you are doing a long essay or special topics. The reason why there is a difference there is simply that the dissertation component carries more weight, and so your minimum requirement overall is compensated for with the dissertation. Okay, and so a minimum of 12 to 18 credits per semester, which translates to 24 to 36 credits. For the long essay and the non-dissertation or non-long essay option, The minimum credits is 15 credits per semester, 18 credits maximum per semester, and that translates to 30 to 36 credits. Okay, so that is for the coursework. Now the seminar carries 3 credits. Okay, seminar carries 3 credits, and you have 1 seminar per academic year of the program. So if it's a 1-year program, then you just do 1 seminar. If it's a 2-year program, like the MBA, then it has to come with 2 seminars, each of which carries 3 credits. So you'd find that it comes with 6 credits for the MBA. But for the seminars for the MA, MSCs, it is just 3 credits. Then the last component, which has to do with the dissertation or long essay, as I mentioned, those who are doing dissertation, it comes with a higher weight. And so you get 12 credits for passing a dissertation. But for the long essay, it's 6 credits. For the special topics, it's 3 credits. You have to do 2 of them, 1 per semester, and each carries 3 credits. And so in the end, you need 6 credits. So overall, you need 39 to 51 credits if you are doing a dissertation, or 39 to 45 credits if you are doing long essay or special topics. Again, let me re-echo the point about the 3 different components so that you cannot trade off credits from coursework to say seminar. The seminar is a requirement, and so even though it is only 3 credits, you cannot say I have 18 credits in coursework and so take 3 credits and then replace that with a seminar. It doesn't work that way. You would have to do the seminar and then pass it. And again, this is one of the things that I notice, particularly when it comes to the exam board meetings. We find that particularly for business school, people get caught up in it. So again, be mindful of it, and let's do the right thing and avoid any hiccups. For a 2-year master's program, the coursework is essentially 24 to 36 credits overall. The long essay, 6 credits, the seminar, 6 credits. So in total, you have between 60 and 72 credits overall for the 2-year master's program. The thesis option, the credits associated with the 3rd component, the research component, is much higher, and so your requirement in terms of the coursework is also much lower. The PhD, of course, the thesis component carries a lot of weight, 45 credits. So that's, again, all the 3 components are represented: your coursework, the seminars, and then the thesis or the research component. Okay, but you note that the research component for the thesis work is 45 credits. Okay, whereas the coursework, because the coursework is just taking over the 1st year, the coursework, your requirements there is a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 24. That is for the year. So it translates to 9 to 12 credits per semester. Okay. So for each academic unit or department, if you like, or center in the university, there is a graduate studies committee, and the graduate studies committee is set up in each unit to provide support to students, one reason or the other. They provide advice to students, particularly when it comes to course selection. formation of research topics, the recommendation of supervisors depending on the topic that you'd want to write your research on. And then they actually submit progress reports on students each semester. Supervisory committee, typically for a one-year program, a minimum of one supervisor for the student, a maximum of two members, but for the PhD, a minimum of two members and a maximum of four. But normally, okay, there are instances where you find that they probably are more than four, but I mean, we also are mindful of the fact that faculty time tends to be overspread. So, okay. Now, with the most of the programs, you cannot interrupt your study for more than 2 continuous semesters prior approval or without written permission from the Dean of the School of Graduates. Typically, you want all such cases to reach the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies 4 weeks in advance. And of course, that application must go through your department. So you cannot just wake up and then write directly to the School of Graduate Studies that you want to defer, or for one reason or the other, the program needs to be interrupted. But typically, if and when we do get letters directly from students, we send it back to the department and ask the department to comment on it. So typically also for the department, once they get these letters from the students, they engage with the supervisors or the academic advisors for, again, before they then will write these letters either in support or against the permission that is being sought. Note that this is not a guarantee. It's why you actually write for the permission. So you cannot just wake up and go, and then later on come and then tell the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies that your workplace, there was an opportunity and you really needed to take advantage of that opportunity. Well, bring somebody else. Because what you do is that once you register your interest in taking this program and you are given the offer and you accept the offer, it means that somebody else cannot get that opportunity. And so you cannot wake up one day and then say that I'm gone without essentially engaging with the system or the structures. Okay. Now, normally, remember I shared a screen where I showed the duration of the program for the different programs, the duration of studies, for the different programs. So MA, MSc, 1 year program, the MPhil, MBA, 2 years. Some of the MScs are also 2 years, maybe 4 years if you are doing it regularly. If otherwise, if it's part-time, it varies a bit. But these then are the defined duration of study. If for some reason you are not able to meet the duration and you need more time, you have to apply for extension. And depending on the program that you are doing, that extension could be given to you for 1 semester, typically for the MA programs, MSc programs, or 2 semesters. And the 2 semesters are typically for the research programs, i.e. the master's by research, the MPhils typically. Okay, but of course, for the PhD, they are granted up to 4 semesters. And so you are given a bit more time to then finish the work. Again, this is not necessarily a right. You have to apply. When you do apply, your supervisors and of course your HOD would have to support it with a letter. So if an HOD, based on consultation with a supervisor, says that, oh, this student is not serious about the work, blah, 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 and so they do not support extending it because they are just going to waste everybody's time, of course, we will not grant the extension. So it is important that you engage with the system again. And once you engage with the system and the recommendation that comes from the department, and I must say that largely it's occasionally that you'd find the very odd case that you'd find the department say, no, those students, we can't support it, but because they just cannot do the work. Okay. So that is for extension. And if after the extension, you still, in fact, after the extension, your studentship technically would have lapsed. But if you realize that even with the extension, you are not able to complete the work and you need some more time, it will come with readmission. Essentially going to be admitted into the program. However, the footnote is that because you have taken the coursework and you've met those requirements within the last 5 or so years, we will typically waive those courses and seminar if you've done the seminar as well, so that those credits are protected for you. So you'll be given readmission, so you come and then meet the final requirement, which will be your long essay or dissertation or thesis. Okay. If, for instance, you also did the long essay or dissertation, but you failed, you did it within a specified period, but you failed, again, what it means is that your studentship has essentially lapsed. Again, you can apply for readmission, and again, the footnote, as I mentioned earlier, will apply so that you are readmitted to then work and finalize or do represent your longer or dissertation or thesis for examination. Okay, so until recently with amnesty, where we reconsidered people who had actually applied for readmission, actually you only have one opportunity to apply for readmission. Okay, so this is not like you can go and come whenever you want to, and still the university will be here waiting for you. No, we wouldn't. The final thing I want to reflect on has to do with plagiarism. Very, very serious matter. If you go to the SGS website, and I hope I pointed it out, if you go to the SGS website and then you scroll down under resources, you'd find the UG plagiarism policy document there. You find also the Turnitin guidelines. The Turnitin is a software which is used to actually test for whether you've met the requirements in respect of plagiarism. Please, University of Ghana takes plagiarism very seriously, so you must avoid it. And it's not just in respect of thesis or dissertation. If you do submit a course assignment and it is found that it has been plagiarized, again, the sanctions that relate to plagiarism can be applied. In fact, if it comes to our attention, it will be applied. Okay. For dissertations, long essays, no, actually, long essays don't. Well, now that we are actually going to be admitting the submission of long essays through the thesis tracker, you would be required to submit it with a plagiarism report. But currently, as it were, the thesis and dissertations now this report, we look out for three key things. One, the overall similarity index in the work that you have presented, once you run it through the Turnitin, should not exceed 20%. So that is just one. But secondly, the single source similarity in the accepted number of words in an unbroken string should not exceed 10 words. All three are an issue of plagiarism comes, we interrogate all the three issues, and of course, we will then ask a committee, essentially through the graduate studies that has been alleged plagiarism that has been brought to our attention, following which the graduate school makes a decision. Okay, it's very important that we read the plagiarism policy. It's could save you a lot of headache. So on that note, I think I will stop here. Again, let's be reminded that all what I've said is in the graduate handbook. And so please down and use it like a Bible that will guide you during your stay here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dean. We are grateful. As you said, graduate handbook. So please, I will allow Dean respectfully, if you can maybe give us spare us a few minutes. I'll allow a few questions, but please let your question be relevant with what he has told us. If it is a question that is not for Dean, please hold on. When it is time, we'll allow you to ask your question. So Dean, respectfully, I'll allow a few people. If I see first 2 or 3 are not in relation to your presentation, we'll move on to the next one.
Yes,
Philip.
please.
Philip, unmute and ask your question.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so my question is not in relation to what Dean has just said, so I'll hold on for a while.
Then, yes, please. Thank you very much. Then please hold on. Thank you. I'm grateful. Dylan Sando Yakubu, please unmute and ask your question.
Oh, sorry, sir. I was only clapping after his presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Ami. Amevoji. Ami. Or is it Amy? Please unmute and ask your question. Okay. Esi Edu Ajimai. Esi Edu Ajimai.
Did you say?
Sorry. Edu say Ajimai. Sorry. Thank you, Dean. Edu say Ajimai.
Hello.
Yes. Hi, Edu say.
Just a little bit of a clarification, not actually a question. When Dean was speaking, he made mention about in case maybe you wanted to defer a program, which you don't have an actual reason. That is maybe it being like you got an opportunity at your workplace and then it made you apply for the program. But then at least in case aside that maybe due to financial constraints, you are not able to maybe continue with your course, is the university going to grant you maybe a deferment or something like that, policy maybe to guide you?
Okay, thank you. So Dean, please, if you let's take the other 2 and then you answer for us, please. The Dede. Dede, please your question. Good afternoon.
Please, I think that my line messed up around where he was talking about the plagiarism. So I just want a little clarification concerning long essay the project work dissertation. I just want a brief explanation which one is for who. And then I went through the handbook and I also saw a screen. You should not exceed 20%, 2%. I want to know, how do you measure that? How do you, in percentages, how do you measure that this work you did, the plagiarism is up to, or it should be 2%? How do you measure that? That's my question.
Okay. Okay, Dede, thank you. Dean, this one, let me take it. This one is a primary school. I'm a primary school boy. Let me answer this. So, Dede, for you to get the percentages, my colleague in the IT team will take us through. There's something, an application called Turn It In application. When you do your project work, you submit it into Turn It In, and then Turn It In will run and so Turn It In will do the rating for you. So if after your project work, you run it through Turn It In, and Turn It In says that, then it means that you copied from a lot of places, which you understand. So you have to work. So this is we don't determine is a in application. It's a worldwide application that is used to check plagiarism programs. Okay, good.
Okay.
So okay. Let me last.
The first part.
Yes. So Dean has written it. He will answer. I just want to take 4 questions and then Dean will
What was
answer.
the first part again? I thought that the question had to do with the thresholds, how we determine the thresholds.
Yes. Yes.
What was the first part of the question?
Yes, please. Yes, if you can repeat the first part for us, okay?
I think this line.
When he was. Sir, please, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Yes, please.
Okay, so please, I was saying that when you were explaining the long essay, the dissertation, and the project work, my line went up. Who does what, and what are we required to do? That immediately the semester starts, or we start doing it in the second year, or I just want a little explanation on the long essays and project work and dissertation.
Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Yes, please, it's noted.
Yeah, please. So, Jacqueline Quay, please unmute and ask your question.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Please, can I be heard?
Good evening. Yes, we can hear you.
And please, I wanted Dean to please throw more light on the seminar. Is it that we are to organize it ourselves, or I don't know if you can just throw more light on that one for us? Thank you.
Okay, good. So, Dean, let me help you. Let me take that one. So, Jacqueline, the seminar is part of your course that you take whilst you are doing your master's program. So, there will be a lecturer who will be assigned to handle the seminar for you. Okay, so just stay put. When you start, I think the second semester or something, you'll find they'll register. You register for seminar, and then a lecturer will take you through the seminar. Okay, and then you'll be graded accordingly. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so who again? Amy, I asked you to unmute. I think that you have gone back the queue again. If you have a question, please unmute and ask. If not, I would be done. Hello. But you can ask your question.
Thank you very much. Good evening. My question is on
Good
registration. My name is Ami. I've been having some problems with my registration for the course. My program is the EMBA.
Okay.
Yes. Is this
Ami,
would it?
please hold on.
Yes.
Ami, please hold
Okay.
on. Ami, please. As I said, these questions are for the dean in relation to the presentation here, registration. Please hold on. When dean is done and is left, you have about an hour with our IT team, and they will take you
Okay.
through all registration related issues. Okay. It will just come and take us through everything. So please raise your hands.
Thank
If it
you.
is not about the presentation dean has made, please drop down your hands, take you through all those things. Okay. Aminu, please ask your question.
Hello. Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes.
During the presentation,
Good evening.
the dean made mention of the registration of programs. You can't register more than one program. Actually, I am registering for MBA MIS, and as we all know, there are about 5 courses that we are supposed to take.
Aminu.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Aminu,
sir.
can you hear me? The question you are
Yes,
asking is just what I addressed. The question you are asking is just what I addressed before I asked you to ask your question. I said, if it is about registration, please hold on. This is about, I want to respond to so that he can leave us. So if it is a registration issue, kindly hold on for me. Yes, the IT team is here. So they will have time for you and answer all our questions. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. MVA. Okay.
So can I?
Clement.
Attempt?
Yes, hello. Clement Frimpong. Dean, please answer for
hello.
us. Yes, hello.
I've heard of long essay. I know of thesis and dissertation. What does it mean to say long essay? I don't know what it is. I just want some explanation to that. Thank you.
Okay, I think that will end here. Dean, please take the questions for us.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me quickly run through. So I think Adusa's question related to the deferment and the point I made about the fact that you need to apply to get the deferment. So your question was, what if financially you do not have what typically in the handbook, indeed, until recently, it used to be on health grounds. Recently, we have been granting deferment for financial reasons. Although, again, sometimes we have to do it within reason, because the whole point then, of course, we know the environment within which we are operating, and so we are very minded by it. I think the key is to write, and then based on what you've written, we will then make a decision. What is difficult for us to do, though, is say you get admission, you haven't even registered as a student, and then you say that you want to defer. What are you deferring? Okay, you are not a student. So typically you would have had to register. And what it also means is that for you to register, you should have registered your interest in actually undertaking the program. Or you should have registered your commitment to taking the program. Note, as I said, there are quite a large number of people who apply to do different programs. And so if you are shortlisted, what it means is that if Robert is shortlisted, Yao doesn't get opportunity, or vice versa. And so if Robert keeps the place and then Yao does not get the place, and then Robert comes and says, oh, defer it for me. If we just have two people who have to attend Legon as graduate students, what it means is that whole year, Legon will not get any student because Robert has kept taking the place, but has not kept his part of the bargain or committed to actually keeping his part of the bargain. So once you have registered and you apply, we will look at the reasons. Ooch. So we're getting some bad feedback from somewhere. Okay. Once you have listed your commitment to attending the program, we certainly, more often than not, we look quite favorably on the request. Okay, I hope I've answered that question. Then there was the question about when the long essay or dissertation. So the dissertations will typically happen after you finished your coursework. And the dissertations are supposed to, I think it was the day who asked this question, the dissertations are supposed to reflect things that you have studied over the course of your period when you have actually had formal engagement in the classroom. Okay, so to produce a good long essay or dissertation, note that you should have learned the tools. The dissertation or long essay, of course, admittedly, the dissertation goes beyond the long essay because it then will be signaling to the world that I am prepared to stake that these students actually meet some minimum standard. And so the external world should examine these students in terms of the application of the tools that they've learned that qualifies them to be, say, a graduate student or a graduate from the University of Ghana. Long essays have lower weights because for the long essay, you do not necessarily go outside of the University of Ghana. So typically, it's your assessor or your supervisor saying, oh, this person has met the minimum requirements, which will suggest that they understand theories that they've learned in a particular program, the application of those theories, both from a theoretical or conceptual point, but also from an empirical point, and they are able to apply the tools. They understand them. Okay, so if you've met the minimum requirements, then you meet the requirements for a long essay. So typically, you'd expect that the long essay and dissertation happens at the end of the academic year. The project work is similar, except that the project work is breaking this up into semesters so that at the end of the first semester, for instance, for a one-year program, the unit then will ask the student that now you have learned some empirical tools, you have learned or research tools, you have learned some theories. Now put this together in expressing an opinion about a particular matter. So inflation in Ghana. I'm an economist, so excuse my use of the economic, it has nothing to do with anything, right? Okay, so these are what essentially the long essays and dissertations are. When you go to the thesis component, then you are beginning to say, no, I have a Master of Philosophy, MPhil, in a particular subject area. So now it is not just about whether I'm able to apply statistical tools to address a question. It is about going through the extracting from the literature gaps that exist and then using the tools you have learned on the program to address questions relating to the gaps that you've observed from the literature. Okay, and that is why, again, we talk about value addition, but of course, it's at a higher level, and therefore it gives or it gets a higher weight. Okay, so these are essentially what the dissertation long essay thesis are, and typically because they are application of the things that you've learned, you'd expect that you do it at the end of either the semester or typically at the end of the program. I hope I've addressed that question. Then, okay, Aminu's point, I think Yao says the department will be dealing with it. I think in answering this question, I've also addressed Clement's point about what a long essay is. Thank you. I see about 200 hands up, but I really am late for another engagement.
Yes.
So I feel free to send me an. I'm sure most of the time, by the time you finish with the orientation at the graduate for UGBS, most of these questions would have been addressed. But feel free to send me an email, or of course come over to the graduate school at some point if need be. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dean. Thank you so much. Dean will respond to the rest of the issues, but I want to say a big thank you. We are somewhere for a program, so my dean couldn't join, but I had to come out to come and moderate. So thank you so much. We are grateful. You are always ready and willing to help the business school. We thank you. So
thank you, my brother. Thank you too.
Yes, thank you. Yes. We'll now ask Mr. Kwame Entry to take us through all the IT related topics. Kwame, your boss is with us, so his network might not be good. So please take us through our UGBS, the IT team, the infrastructure, the system administration support network registration, help desk, Sakai tutorials, and all those things. Please take over for us from now till we end. So, Kwame, Boniface, sis Kwame, and please more from here onwards. I will have to mute and go and join the meeting. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Yao. Good evening to all once again, and welcome to the UGBS. So, like the assistant registrar said, I'm going to take you through the registration issues and email issues, Wi-Fi issues that we raised yesterday, and which are also coming up today. But I'm going to take you through some slides that we have here briefly. Then we will dive in and do some practical on how to do that. All right. And email and so forth. But to do that, the registration and email, I would kindly ask one of you who has paid for the fees and has your admission letter to kindly send me your student's ID and PIN and your email account as well, so that I can use for the demonstration. Our systems are live systems, so we don't have test accounts to do that. So one of you can kindly send me your student ID and PIN and your email address, the school's email address that I'll be giving you. So that's what I'll do. I'll share my screen and then dive into our brief presentation. So would have had to do this, but the network is not that good. So led by Mr. Rikeme, who's the head of IT, and I'm part of the 8 also supports team that are helping him to deliver on the IT mandates. So briefly about the IT team, IT infrastructure we have here, systems administration support for students. And then I'll get into some help desk support for students. Typically, we have some FAQs that we have developed for some of the questions like today. So I'll run you through how to get access to those if you find yourself in need of any assistance. Okay. So like I said, the UGBS IT team is part of the University of Ghana Computing Services, now renamed to University of Ghana IT Directorate. And like I said, Mr. Kema is our head of IT. He's in the meeting now. We have 8 additional support staff in charge of system administration, network, webmaster, and technicians. So we provide general IT support to faculty and staff. And then if the issues are beyond us, we ask. So I think yesterday, those of you who joined saw the school administrator show you the building that you are going to be housed in for your in-person lectures. And like you said, we have about 42 lecture halls fitted with ultra-modern with the visual technology for teaching and learning, internet services available. Then we have computers in the library for your use. If in case you don't have a computer or you didn't bring your computer, you can hop into the library to use the computers there. Then also we have computer labs on the main campus here and at the graduate building where you are mostly going to be. So we have about 80 computers in the ICT lounge at the graduate building, where we also have spaces for you to bring in your own laptop to sit and use the internet facility over there. So getting onto the registration. Register your course assignment, you need to have your student ID and PIN, which I believe most of you should have it by now. And then the instructions and what I'm going to show you today are also found on the website, which you can have access to later on. In fact, I'm going to drop it in the chat right after this presentation so that you can download it and use it if you forget. Mind you, we're also live streaming this event on YouTube. So when we finish and you want to go over what we've done, you can go to YouTube, search for UGBS or University of Ghana Business School. You have access to the videos. The meeting is also being recorded, so you have it in the chat once the meeting ends. Okay, so your email account too would have been sent to you by now. If it hasn't, you should be able to download your admission letter or have it on your application portal. So the email address comes to the initial default password, which you can use to change to your preferred password. So if you're a continuous student, you do not need to do this. Okay, so like the student administrator said yesterday, to be able to have access to the facilities here at the University of Ghana, you need to have paid your fees. I think he mentioned the minimum that you should pay yesterday to be able to, and after registration, you have access to the Wi-Fi and some IT systems. Okay, so to dive in, that is a presentation of how to do registration, your academic registration. But I think I'm going to skip the presentation and then we'll go straight into the demonstration. So you can register on the MIS web. We call it MIS web, which you have access to on the UG website. So I'm going to end the slideshow and then dive into I believe you can all hear me. You can drop your question in the chat box. My colleagues are also available to respond to your questions. And when I'm done, I'll also take some of the questions that you posted there. Okay. So let me share my screen and then you share. Well, for your use, let me drop it in the chat box. Okay, share my screen. Okay, just give me a second. Trying to share my screen. If you can see my screen now, if you can't, just give me a message in the chat box and I'll do what to make amends. Okay. Used to do the demonstration. I don't know if anyone did, because I need an account to do this. So please kindly help me.
So Kwame, let them send it to you privately so that they don't disclose their details. Let them send it to you, yes. So please send it to Mr. Kwame Entry privately. Just send him your index and then your PIN, and let him use that to show a live registration for us, please.
Okay. But can you see my screen though?
There's nothing showing on your screen, or it's blank.
Okay. Yes, second.
They have where UG deal on it.
Yeah. So that's the UG website showing right now. So we have MIS Web. If you can follow the mouse pointer on the screen, MIS Web right here. So in order to register your course, like I said earlier, you need to go to MIS Web to do that. So you click on MIS Web, will bring you to this page where you have to sign in. Okay, I'm still not seeing any. It's over ID. Sarah Barrow says the institution has not yet permitted the use of this option. Yes, so that is one thing I was going to show you. But if you see a message like what Sarah has posted in the chat, which says that the institution has not yet permitted the use of this option to you, it means though you may have paid your fees, our students account office may not have credited your account and not enabled you to be able to register. So what you typically do is, if you're on campus, you go to the students account office, which is close to the main gate close to the police station, at the main UG gates, in a building called Jones Quarter Building. The students account office is there. So if you are on campus, you can walk in with your pay slip or your bank slip, and then with that, they will be able to enable you there and then to be able to register. But if you don't, I think you can scan your paying slip to your program managers, then they will do the follow-up for you. They will send it to the student's account office to enable you to be able to register. So for those of you who may have seen that message which says the institution has not permitted the use of this option, that is what it means. I can't see anybody sending me the student ID and PIN. So what do I do? Okay, let's start with the email. Maybe an account. I just need your student ID. So access your student email. What you do is you come to the top of the UG website like this, and then you hover your mouse pointer on students, then you find student email. Right here, I believe it's so I'm streaming on YouTube at the same time. You can go on the YouTube page and watch from there. Okay. I'm dropping a chat, so for those of you who want to send me the ideas, then I'm dropping a message so that you can see me and then send it to me privately. Okay, so let's do the email first. So like I said, you go to the students here, click on email. And it's this is a Google account. So I've already logged in, so that's why you can see this. So let me do a new page so that you see it the way it should. Okay, so students email. So you get this page, okay? So you realize that it's a Google account. So your student emails are essentially Google account, Google emails, they are Gmail accounts. So aside from using the option I just showed you, you could have just gone straight to gmail.com and you'll be able to access your student email as well. But what I just did gives you is that we give you the latter part of your email typed in already, so you only have to type in the username portion. So for me, if my email were PNP, I just type PNP and then I click next. Boom. It's not there. Let me see. Okay, so mine is staff, so I get to enter as a staff. So the password I was giving you as a temporary password, then you type it in here. Once you type it, it will ask you to change the password. Then you change it to your preferred password, and then it will ask you to do the 2-level authentication. You add your phone number so that in case you forget your password, you can reset it like we do for all Gmail accounts. I believe that is clear. Maybe later on, if someone should send me an account, I'll get back to this. But instead, without the account, it will be difficult to show them how to register. Last year, it was pretty quick. Someone just dropped me a chat. It was easy to...
Kwame, please check your mail. Somebody says he has sent it to your mail. So please check your mail. Someone says he has sent it to you. Yes, to your email.
How did they know my email?
Okay, someone says send you. So Kwame, whilst you are looking at your mail, please let me address this. Unfortunately, some of you are asking us some questions that it makes us wonder whether you are really part of us. Because if you ask us, how do you get your password, for instance? So when you were granted a conditional admission, you paid your fees, and then you sent us the receipt via email that you have paid, the paying slip. And then after you sent us the slip, we sent you your main admission letter signed by the graduate school. That is at where you downloaded your provisional admission letter. So you use the serial number and the PIN that you bought at the bank, which you used to do the registration. You use that same process, and then you go into the portal, you download your new admission letter. So you see two documents there that you download. One has your admission letter. Then the second one has your password, your email address, your password, and your PIN. All that you are asking us about. Because if by now you're asking us, how do you get your PIN? Then it means that when you were the admission fees, you have not gone back into the system using your serial number, the UG25 something, and the PIN to go and download your main admission letter. And so you keep asking us the same questions when by now all of you should have passed that stage. And so it becomes easier to handle you. So please check the chat. I think somebody has sent you their index number and PIN. I think Louise at Dinete. Please check and then use that to take them through.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I see someone has sent me, so let's try that one. Okay, so again, the UG website. My network is a bit slow, pardon me. Or the EGBS website. Let's see which one comes first. This is surprising. Okay. Okay, so if you can see my screen on the EG website right now. So you click on MIS Web. All right, let me enlarge it a bit. Okay. So you can see student, personnel, other alumni. So you are a student, so students already selected. So you just type in your student ID and then your PIN. Then you click on login. So in case in the future, if you forget your password or your PIN, you can always click on forgot PIN. If you want to change the PIN, you can do it from here, or request a PIN if you don't have, you can click on this. But for now, you click on login. You'll be brought to this page. Okay. It's a beautiful lady. Okay, so once you're on that page, you have to check whether the picture, if there's a picture there, you check whether it's you, your date of birth, your details, as your bio data, everything is you. So what you want to do is registration, right? So on the right side here, you can see, sorry, left side, the menus on the left side here, you can see application registration as the second option. So you click on registration.
Hello. Please, the slide is still at registered e-user. It's not moving.
Okay, sorry. Let me
thank you.
All right, thank you. It's probably due to the network. Okay. Yeah, the network is a bit slow. That is why I think it's now coming. It's slow. How did that happen? So let me check. Okay, so I'll start over. So on the UG page, you click on MIS. You come to this page, you type in your student name, your PIN. Click on login. Then you click on registration on the far on the left side here. Then you want to click on submit registration. Okay, so this is the message that someone posted earlier on. So I said, if you get this message, it means that your fees has not been, like you may have paid your fees, but your account has not been credited by our students' accounts people. So I think I explained that earlier. But let me check if there's another person who has sent me a message that we can use. So this one we cannot use. Give me a second. If someone else has sent it. Okay, I have another one here, so I'll go back. It's pardon me, it's a live system, so definitely get one. Okay, registration, submit registration. The last registration attempt has not been completed. You will be redirected to a page where you can complete it. Okay, so it means this person started the registration but did not complete it. Okay. Let me see. Evelina PJ, if you can send me your pen, I'll be grateful. Okay, if you don't get it, I'll just go through the slide that I was trying to send to you in the chat. Let me open that and show you how that is done. We have put that in a stepwise manner that you can easily go through to, just like the way I'm trying to do. So let's bring that up. Okay, so what I was trying to do was this. Once you log in from here, you'll be brought to this page, MIS web registration. Once you click on registration, you'll be asked to accept rules and regulations of the university, which you need to click on accept if it is there. If it's not there, just click on submit registration right here. Then you'll be brought to this page where you are supposed to click on your qualification code. So it's in blue here. You click on this blue qualification code, whatever you see there. Then you click on register for this qualification. Okay. Then it will bring you to this page where you are supposed to confirm the program that you are studying, whether it's a sandwich program, executive MBA, the semester you are in. You check if it's indeed correct. You click on save and continue. Then the next page is where you select the subjects that you are going to be doing for the semester. Okay, the programs office would have sent you the subjects that you're supposed to do for the semester. So you go through the list here and use the check boxes by them to check all the programs that you are supposed to take for this semester. Then you click on save and continue. Which will bring you to this page. Then you click on continue. And then the next page, you need to click on accept registration. And then that should be the last stage for the registration. But then you can print a copy that you can get to print a copy of your registration for any issue that may come up that you will need it. So I'm going to drop this PDF in the chat for your reference. Okay. Someone says, how did you type in the password? Because mine is not working. Okay. So without any account to do the live demonstration, I believe this is what I was going to show you. And it's quite simple. So I'm going to drop this in the chat for you to refer later. Okay. I think what is left now is Sakai. Sakai was mentioned earlier, I think yesterday, and I think briefly today too. 1018 was also mentioned for plagiarism. So Sakai is a learning management system that lecturers load your course materials and assignments whilst you're doing online programs. And if you're not doing online, they still post your course materials and then assignments there that you can have access to. So it's a learning management system that we use at the university here for teaching and learning. So to be able to log into Sakai, you would need to go to sakai.ug. I believe it's also on the UG website. Let's try it with the UG website first. If you go to students, you see Sakai right here, right? So you click on it, and it will bring you to this page. I hope that one of the accounts that came in can work. Otherwise, I'll use my own personal account. I have a Sakai account, so I can use it. Okay. So let's try a student's account to log into Sakai. Let's see. So once on the login page, you have access to various resources on how to use Sakai, etc. Once you log into, you can have access to the help to be able to use Sakai 241. Okay, so I think the student is not logged in. It's not registered. That's why I cannot log in with the account. So let me use my personal account to log in and show you how Sakai works briefly. So this is the homepage of Sakai. I'm currently logged in. If you can see your profile, on the left side here, you have overview of Sakai, the profile, membership, calendar, resource announcements. So later on, I'm going to give you a brief overview. Later on, my boss will schedule one-on-one sessions with the various groups, and then he will take you through in proper detail how to use Sakai properly. But then once you're logged in, your account is on the top right here, where you can go to your profile and change some settings. If you want to upload your picture, you can do so. If you want to change certain details about you, you can do so from your profile. So let's go to home. And in Sakai, under membership, that's where you get access to the courses that you have enrolled on for the semester. So you see all your courses under membership, all right? And Turnitin was mentioned earlier. Turnitin in Sakai, to be able to use Turnitin to check plagiarism of your work that you've done, it is in a course on Sakai called Outcome 100. So this course is where you find where to get your Turnitin reports done. So if you click on Outcome 100 and the assignments, if you have any long essay like was mentioned or assignments done that you need to check whether your work looks copied, you click on the plagiarism checker. At every point in time, the latest version of Turnitin can be found either from the first day of the month to the middle of the month, and then also from the middle of the month to the end of the month. So if you, as you can see here, the current version that we are using is from 15th of September to the 30th of September. So you click on that one, they'll bring you to a page where you can upload the work that you want to check plagiarism for. So I was doing one for a student who had who was doing a long essay recently, and yeah, so you come down here under attachments to upload the work that you've done, whether in a Word document or PDF. You click on choose file. You'll be able to select your work that you've done and then upload it to check for plagiarism. So this student's one is done. We can see how she's done briefly. I hope she doesn't see this. So this is typically how a plagiarism report looks like. All right, you get your score. I think the Dean of Students mentioned that the minimum score for plagiarism that we should get is 20%. So if your work is 20% plagiarized, it is acceptable at the University of Ghana. So this student currently has 20% score, so I think she's fine. If it's more, then you need to go back to your work and make changes, and then come back to Turnitin, upload it, and check whether your score has gone down or not. Okay, so that is for plagiarism checker. There isn't much more to say about Sakai than, like I said earlier, my boss will schedule a time with you or in the various groups and then take you through in depth on how to use Sakai. So, Mr. Yeboah, I believe I've almost covered all that I'm supposed to cover. Okay, I think we also spoke about, lastly, we also spoke about getting help. If you need help, the business school websites, the UG websites, and the handbook that the Dean of Students, the Dean of School of Graduate Studies mentioned are there for your reference. There are a lot of information on the business school website that you can have access to. So we recently updated our website. So I don't know if Gabby is around. Our webmaster could have taken you through the various places. But at the bottom section here, you can see FAQs, right? Okay, so that's where we've collated a number of the issues that you are currently asking in the chat box, the very familiar ones that students normally ask. We have collated most of them here, So if you have any challenge about all that we are saying, and as regards IT and certain other issues, you click on FAQs, you get access to some of these common asked questions, which can give you responses. So for instance, if you have forgotten your MIS web pin, how do you retrieve it? This is a common question that we get from students. So we give you the response here. How do I access Sakai? We give you the response here, and so on. But then if you need to reach us, the IT, for any support, you can also email us, or we have a contact, a form here that you can fill. It will get to us and then we will respond to your issues. So once you click on this link here, to bring you to a Google form where you can type in whatever issue that you have, it will get to us and then we will be able to respond to it. Or you can call this number and one of my colleagues will respond to you and help you out. I think I didn't touch on Wi-Fi. Yes. So on Wi-Fi, we have Wi-Fi access all over campus. Anywhere you are, you can get Wi-Fi. What you need is that you need to have registered for the semester, and then you need to have your student's ID and your PIN. So maybe I can briefly do that, show you how to do that on phone, because for iPhone users, it is quite straightforward. You just type in your student ID at the username portion, and then your PIN as the password, and you'll be good to go. But for Android, sometimes you need to do some small changes in the Wi-Fi settings. So let me try and see whether I can share my phone screen and show you briefly. Let's see. Okay, so this is my phone screen. Let's see. So to be able to have access to Wi-Fi, we have a number of Wi-Fi on campus. So we have the staff Wi-Fi, and as a student, there's a student Wi-Fi for you to use. Or if you can see my phone screen currently, it looks a bit. You can see my phone screen. So we have the staff, we have student Wi-Fi. So what you do is, my phone is an Android phone, so yeah, the Android users, we are here. Okay. It appears my phone screen is frozen somewhere. So let me try it again. Second. Okay, stop sharing. Share. Okay. So the entire phone screen is not, for some reason, is not showing. So, but I'm going to post how to do it on Android phones in the chat box right now for your reference. It's not that difficult. Yeah, so Mr. Well, that is it from me right now. If there are any questions, I'll take them.
Hello.
Come, I
Mr.
think we have some questions. We can take them, please.
Hello, Mr. Nchi.
Yes.
Please, I'm sorry, my network went off a little, so I missed the last part when you were talking about using
Wi-Fi.
Okay, thank you.
I just missed your last portion. If you can come again. Is it about Wi-Fi?
No, I missed it for some time, so I don't know what you were talking about. If it's the Wi-Fi or is
So what's the
the
last
FA?
thing? Yeah, what's the last thing you heard?
I think you were talking about the FAO.
FAQs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying that we have collated a number of frequently asked questions, like you are asking them in the chat box right now. Those are common things that students normally ask. So we have collated them and tried to provide responses to them. So that is what I'm showing on the screen right now. The FAQs are on the UGBS website. At the very bottom of the website, you find under information, you find FAQs, all right? When you click this page that is showing on your screen right now, I don't know if you can see. So we have collected a number of frequently asked questions from students in the past, and then we have tried to answer them, giving you a guideline on how to go about them. So that was it about the FAQs. So let's see if anybody else. I see do say Ajiman. If you can, if you have a question, you can ask Edusei.
Hello.
Yes.
Mr. Kwame, can you hear me?
Okay. I see your hand up, so I thought you had a question. If you do, please
Yeah.
go on.
Oh, what just about the registration, but then I think it has been sorted now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Then Isaac Agri. Otherwise, Anita.
Hi. Good evening.
Yes, Isaac.
So, my question comes to
Anita, hold on, please.
Thank you. Okay, so please, my question comes in two folds. Okay, so with activating my 2G email, I enter the email address, all right, but once I enter the password, it gives me wrong password. I've been trying since I paid the fees.
It gives you what? Can you come again? It gives you
the error message, wrong password.
Okay.
Yes, I've been trying for some time now. And secondly, my MIS web, okay, the courses on the platform, they are not the courses I'm doing for the semester. So, how do you call it? A message was sent about the courses we are supposed to do for the semester, but the courses on my MIS web does not reflect the courses I'm supposed to do. So I'm a bit confused.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me start with the last question about the courses. So if the courses are not showing, then kindly hold on with registration. Okay. Typically registration takes about a whole month. So you don't necessarily have to be under pressure to do it right now. You can start lectures. I mean, you have your timetable, right? So you can start lectures, and whilst lectures are still ongoing, within the 1 month, when the courses show up, you can register. Would that be okay?
Yes, please. That would be fine.
Yeah, so for all of you who are having similar issues, I want to tell you that don't be under pressure to register right now. You have a whole month to do so. So if there are any issues, you can call on us and then we can help you to do that. So just relax a little bit. And then your first question was on email, right? So email, if you are getting response that the password is incorrect, we can reset the password for you. It means, so typically before you start school, you would have created the account for you already and then set the password, the temporary password for you. The temporary password has an expiry period. So within that time, if you have not registered and activated the email account, the password expires. So that is why probably you are getting that message. So what we do is that we will reset the password for you and then you can activate it. So like I showed you on our website, I'm going to type in our email addresses that you can reach us on. But I think I also showed you the contact number that you can reach the IT people on. So on the FAQs page, our contact number is here. Okay, if you call this number or you send a WhatsApp, someone will attend to you on this number. Or you can click on this link. It should bring you to this Google form where you can type in the problem you are having. It will get to us and then we will respond to it for you. I hope that will be okay. So Isaac, you can send in maybe because you are right here, I'll send in my email address and then you can send your email account to me and then I'll reset the password for you. Okay. So I'm typing in my email address and then my boss's email address. Then maybe one more colleague's email address. Okay. So I've typed in a couple of email addresses that you can reach us on. So let's see who else has a question. Maybe we can close by 6 p.m. if we are fast enough. Anita, kindly ask your question.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, Anita.
Please, my problem is I've requested to change my program, and then today I decided to go and pay my fees. But when I went, I was supposed to provide in the program that I'll be studying. So I couldn't because I couldn't put in the public admin because I want to change it to MIS. I've written a letter and I've not received any feedback yet. So I don't know what to do. And lecture starts next week.
Okay. Is that all, Anita?
Yes, please. I want to
Anita.
know.
Okay.
Hello, yes.
Anita, I think you sent me an email earlier and I responded. So
No,
as I told you, we are working on it.
I haven't received your email.
So I remember you sent an email, so I responded and copied the respective departments. So we'll get back to you, please. So as Mr. Entry said, registration period is open from now until 25th of October. So we'll definitely sort you out and then you definitely register before the deadline comes. Okay?
Okay,
That's
but
fine.
please, how about the lectures? How will I know the class I'm supposed to join because I'm trying to change the
So
program?
when just before we close, I would share the contact numbers of the program office. You call us and then we'll sort you out. Is that fine? Is that okay?
Yes, please. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure. You're welcome.
Okay. Madam, thank you. Anita, you can lower your hand. Isaac as well, please lower your hand. Evans Kelly, please If you have a question, kindly ask. Otherwise, Michael.
Hello, good
Michael.
evening.
Yes, Michael.
Right.
Hello.
Please, so I was following the process for activating the email address, the email. But then when I type in my email address, I guess this error message which says couldn't find your Google account.
Okay. Is that all?
No, please. And the second question is that is it possible to receive the course content or the course outlined for especially for the electives? Probably that's going to guide us as to which particular elective to select.
Okay. Madam Chris, the second question, what do you think?
The course outlines, the handle. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah.
I'm saying that with the course outlines, the lecturers would send it to the students. So that would come from their lecturers. So they'll get to see the course outline, which will inform which elective that they want to choose. Like I said, the registration period is still open. So once you get to read it, it's about which elective you'd want to pick. I hope that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, but will the lecturer send it to all of them, or he will send it to those who have registered for that particular course? Because he wants to see it before he can choose the elective that he should take. Janice, what do you think? Okay, so before they come in, let me respond to the first part. Your first part was about the email not found. So like I said, before you come, we create the account.
Hello.
So the account.
Mr.
Janice, please
Angie.
hold on. Yeah, please hold on. Let me finish with the email that you come in.
Okay.
Okay, so the email accounts are still being created. So if you find a message that your account is not found, it means we have not created that account. Okay, so just hold on a bit. You can try it in a couple of days. If it's not done, you can reach out to us and then we will handle it for you. Okay, Janice, please, you can come in if you heard the question he asked earlier.
Okay, so based on what Madam Chris said, she said they have up to 25th of October to register. So before then, lectures would have started, and then the lecturers would have shared all the course outline, and that would inform the students on which elective they can choose.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Michael, if you get it, you can.
Kwame, a follow-up question, please. So, following up with what Madam Janice said, does it mean we would have to attend class for all the electives before we can receive the course outlines to know which ones we want to go for?
Okay. I'm not an expert in that. Maybe Madam Chris. I think this is an issue that should be taken up by your office because the students.
Yeah,
I think it's a
we
genuine concern.
we
Yeah.
can take it up. But then
Yeah.
what I can say is that I'm sure from the department, once you ask the lecturer in question to share the course outline with you, you should be able to have it. Basically.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Michael, I believe that settles it.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Please lower your hand. Ayabia, kindly unmute and ask your question. Oh, there are a lot of hands up.
Hello, can I be heard?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Entry, please hold on, Arabia, please. I think we should just take after Arabia, let's take 2 more questions and then we will close for today. As I said, Mr. Entry has shared his contact details. We will also share the Forum Office contact details. So depending on what your issue is, you can reach out to any of the units and then we'll sort you out. So Mr. Entry, 3 questions and then I'll come in for the last and then we'll be done. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Ayabia.
hi. For my current student mail, it's the same as my undergrad. So when I'm signing in or logging into my Sakai, it's giving me my undergrad ID instead of the ID I'm currently using. So it's making it hard for me to log into Sakai with my current details.
Okay. So you are mentioning email and Sakai. They are both different. So you don't use email to log into Sakai. You use your student's ID and
I
PIN.
get that bit. So I tried to log in with my student ID, and then it wasn't logging in. So I tried with forgot password, and then it comes to my student mail. But because my student mail is still having my undergrad ID, it's unable to change or it's unable to allow me to log in with it. Do you get me?
Yeah. But in your current admission letter, did you get a new student ID?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so the new student ID should be what you should be using. What about the email? Was it the same as your previous email?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, so later on you can send us an email that we will do the switch. Maybe it's not been done yet, so we will do the switch for you. Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome. So before the next question, let me quickly, someone sent me the student ID and PIN. So I've already logged in for the registration. So like I said, once you are logged in and you click on submit registration, on this page, you get to click on your qualification code here. All right, just as it's shown in the PDF that I showed you earlier on. And you click on register for this qualification. All right. Then you click on save and continue. So the student has already done the registration. But then what it will typically do is when you click on save and continue, it will bring you to this page, add subjects to a registration. Right, that's where you will choose the subjects that you are supposed to do for the semester, after which you click on save and continue. Okay, so that is it about the registration. Thank you, Joe. So let's take the 2 more questions. Donaldson is here. Donaldson, kindly ask your question.
Kwame, so I want to find out, since 70% of the classes lectures will be online, are you going to provide us with data? Since we know, I think tech, they provide them with data. Are you going to provide us with data?
My pay grade doesn't allow me to answer this question. So, Madam Chris, or you want to refer it to Dean later on to come back to them. Are you going to give the students data? Because KNUST is doing it.
Your line is.
Yeah, so the student asked, since 70% of the courses are online, are you going to give them data to log on and have their classes online?
So we've not provided for students, but our campus is always open. So if, for or the other, you don't have internet access, you can just come to campus and then use the Wi-Fi throughout the day and then attend the lectures online, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Donaldson, I think that should be clear enough. Okay. So the last person, the Fua Abrefi. Fua, can you unmute and ask your question? Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I started my registration all right. I'm able to print my proof of registration, but I see a bar still standing at 89%. So I'm wondering what I have left out, because I've printed a lot, but still at 89%.
Okay. So once you get to proof of registration, you are done. It doesn't matter what is showing there. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. So that should be it, ladies and gentlemen. I think the chat box is still open. You can send your questions and you will do well to answer them. Thank you for being here. And once again, you're welcome to the AGBS. Have a good evening. Oh, one last thing. Something that I just observed. So our cameras are enabled, right? And you are going to be in lectures for some time, mostly online. I would advise that if the place you are is not convenient to show your camera, kindly don't turn on your camera because you don't know what you'll be showing the whole world. All right. Have a nice day.
Hello, Mr. Ivy. The number,
The
Madam Chris. Yes, Madam Chris wanted to give to us.
The number. Jennifer.
So please hold on. I'll project it. I'll project it. So that will be the last thing I'll project, so that everybody else will get a chance to take it down. Okay, so please hold on. So I think yesterday we had a few issues where people did not know which. I think somebody is. I think is it James. Let's see. So I think yesterday there was a bit of confusion. People were looking at the timetable, they didn't know whether they belong to cohort 1, cohort 2, cohort 3, and all that. I'd like to announce that today, during the course of the day, we've shared the list. So when you go to the list, you see the different cohorts and the students who belong to each cohort. So please, if you haven't gone to your WhatsApp groups, if you haven't checked your mail, please do so. Once you go through, you see the various cohorts and then the students who belong to the various cohorts, and then you should be able to find yourself in one of them. So when you take the timetable, you will be able to know where you fall. And then I think the second thing which also came up yesterday was the schedule for in-person. People did not understand. So what we have done today is to sort of simplify the the schedule for in-person lectures a bit. So I think for the weekend group and then the 1 year programs group as well, if you've checked the various platforms, you should be able to see the new schedule. So let me see if I can quickly just go through the 1 year, the one for 1 year programs. Let me quickly see if I can share that with you. Okay, so I hope you can all see my screen. Can my screen be seen, please? It's entry.
It's loading. Yeah, it can be seen now.
Okay, so this is how the new schedule looks like. I think what we shared yesterday had EMBA, weekend, and all that, so it confused lots of people. 1 year programs. So this schedule is, how do you call it? It gives you the mode of teaching. So as I said, it's been simplified. So these are the programs in question. We have business analytics, we have development finance, logistic and transport management, management and administration, procurement and supply management. If you are doing any of these programs, this is how your schedule looks like. So lectures, as always, as you Thursday evening to Saturday. One, the week one starts from Thursday, October 3rd to Saturday, October 5th. So when you look at the mode of teaching is online. So that means that if you are doing business analytics, development, finance, etc., you'll be going online to be taught basically. Two, which is October 10th to October 12th in person. October 17th to October 19th, you go online. So basically, this is what we've made it a bit easier. I'm hoping that everybody will get to understand this. Once you look at it, you should be able to tell where you belong to, first of all, from the programs you've listed above. And then for each week, what you'll be doing, whether you go online or whether you will be in person. So I think we've done the same thing for the next set of programs. You have accounting and finance access, clinical leadership and management, financial risk management, international business, and public sector. So if you fall within this group as well, these are the periods that you will come for your lectures, and these are the mood. So this is the date. Week 1, you come in person. That means you come to our graduate campus. Week 2, week 3, you'll be online. Week 4, you would come in person. So basically, this is it. So please, as I've said, kindly check your emails on the WhatsApp platforms, and then you get all this information. If for one reason or the other you still have some concerns or you are not sure, you have some questions to ask, you can contact us. So these are our contact numbers. For those of you who belong to EMBA group, this is the email address for the EMBA program. This is their telephone number. And we've labeled graduate office. If you are a weekend MBA program student, so weekend MBA, accounting, finance, human resource management, public admin, all that group, your contact office is the graduate office. That's the WMBA staff at ug.edu.gh. For those of you who have been receiving mails from our school, I'm sure you'll be familiar with some of these emails. So let me leave this here for a few minutes. Then please, you can take the information down and then you can contact us if you have one challenge or another. So Anita, I hope you are taking the information down. So information, if you have anything to access, you contact the graduate office. The graduate office. So please take note. So for weekend MBA, your schedule has been shared to you via email and a WhatsApp page. And I saw today that quite a number of you were acknowledging receiving the schedule. For we wouldn't be having any issues, but you can just contact us. So please take this. Thank you.
Okay. I believe we are good, but Madam, there are still a number of questions in the chat. So maybe as we close, Janice and Abna and myself will go through the question and try to answer those of them that have not been answered. There was a question about medical examination again. So maybe you should look out for that. Okay. Thank you all and have a good evening. See you in school next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, and then welcome to University of Ghana Business School. Bye-bye. See you next week, virtually, and then those of you who are coming in person. Thank you.